that you are a top 8 player in the world. We are about to be underway, and we will kick off then the FC Pro World Championship playoffs now. The round of 16 begins. GuiBarros kicking from left to right in the red, and Fakhr from the right to left in the white. And already GuiBarros takes a shot, scores, and what a way to start here in the round of 16.
And that could be the earliest goal we've seen, Gaskin, of the entire tournament. I absolutely love that kickoff. He fakes a play along on the wing, which is absolutely lovely. Gets in Fakhir's head potentially there. A nice heel to ball roll skill move into a lovely low-driven finish. Of course, the brand new playstyle in FC 25. And that is just how you want to start the round of 16, GuiBarros.
And I remember day one, you told me Harry Kane is going to be the man. He's going to be the player that everyone's going to use up top, and for good reason. Absolute brilliant goals we've seen from him. You could just trust him to finish in those kind of positions.
Absolutely, and I don't think you get the same roar of emotion that you just saw there. Say he scored 5, 6, 7 minutes into the game. I think you get a celebration. I don't think you get one like that, though. You've just G'd yourself up getting into this game. 1 minute in, you already find yourself 1-0 up. And again, we're going to have to call that an absolute flashbang into Fakhr there, because you've not even started the game and you find yourself 1-0 down. You didn't even win the ball, Gaskin. You're just straight away down.
Such a confidence booster for GuiBarros, but for Fakhr, that is the worst thing that could have happened for his confidence. But maybe he can have an instant reply here. Does actually have an opportunity on the left-hand side, but it goes near post. Still has the ball, though. Still an opportunity. Hasn't gone out, but he does put it out of play. Small mistake there.
I thought he was going to try the Trivela to the far post there. Now, he might have mistimed that. And sometimes, of course, guys, remember, with the precision shooting that these players are using at these tournaments, the tighter angles are much more difficult to deal with, as we see the first time through ball trying to be settled there. Keep your eye out from that with GuiBarros. Already been triggering quite a few of those runs and getting in behind there. We touched on Gaskin, of course. If you get in on the halfway line there, it's just a free run at goal.
If I'm Fakhr here, I want to take control of this game's possession. Slow this game down a little bit. You don't want to go at GuiBarros and just try and give him counter-attack after counter-attack. Otherwise, you might find yourself a few goals down just purely from how good we've seen GuiBarros been throughout yesterday. As it is going to be a free kick. I mean, it's a bit far out, but I have seen him go in. It's not impossible from here. We'll see what he tries. Is he going to go for a dig? No, just plays it short. Trivela, though, is saved.
Unsure if there was a bit of keep movement there, as we see the ball going to get whipped in quick. We've seen loads of these quick corners being played over the FC Pro World Championship so far, as Fakhr is going to try and build up again here on the edge of the box.
Graham out on the wing. Does have help as well, as Fakhr is having possession. Doesn't seem like he's been too stunned by the early goal here, and not been particularly rattled. Has had chances, but this is the worry. Every single time that GuiBarros gets that ball back, he is instantly looking to launch that counter-attack, find those first-time through balls that can be so deadly if you time them right. Yeah,
and just looking at GuiBarros' gameplay, as we see a clean through chance almost here, trying the skill move. He said he was going to do the skill moves, and we're getting delivered with those, of course. We know, of course, from watching GuiBarros, as we see straight up the other end for Fakhr here, trying the L1R1 double square. He's got loads of things in his arsenal. I can already see from watching 12 minutes of his gameplay, there's loads of different tricks, the ways he can get forward, ways he can score goals, and that makes it so difficult for Fakhr to defend.
I mean, in terms of players, we've got a very different base of items that are coming across the board for these two. Of course, Hansen playing out on the wing for Fakhr. I saw Mateus as well, also featuring, but on the flip side for GuiBarros, of course, we saw Harry Kane is going to be up there, whereas Rio Ferdinand for Fakhr that's going to be hoping to put goals in the back of the net. But Mendes, great challenge. GuiBarros wins it back.
I have to say, Gaskin, so far at the FC Pro World Championship, I think Harry Kane could be like the overall MVP for if you ask every player, I think he could be the most common answer. Just in terms of how good he is for your budget. Of course, we've got a 15 million coin budget here, guys, and Harry Kane, that item, it just makes it, it's a free card up front, essentially.
He has just scored so many goals as well. And whilst Ferdinand has often been second to that, or sometimes even been subbed on, Harry Kane has been the name screamed around the arena. Yeah, here in Riyadh, but that's not really the shot you want to go for. Again, though, don't blame him for going for it. Just wasn't really timed to perfection.
I thought you were going to come out there with Rio in Riyadh. Thought that sounded quite flowy.
That sounds like a TV show.
GuiBarros trying to find an angle. A lovely speed boost from Messi there. That's outstanding. His green time finished that. And Gaskin, honestly, that is just a slight bit of aim just missed with the precision shooting, but it's not missed that time. And Pedro Neto absolutely strikes it from outside the box there into the top corner. Green timed, Gaskin, that is fantastic.
Slams it home, and GuiBarros again erupts in the arena as well. And I'm sure giving the fans something to scream and shout about, but for Fakhr, sadly, he's now going to really have to come back and try and climb a mountain here. I thought after the first one, maybe he wouldn't get a second chance, but he saw that maybe the keeper was just slightly off his line. Timed green, and look at that reaction from him as well. You can see what it means to him.
For sure, and look, there can only be one winner at this tournament, of course, but these rounds that you're winning now, you get into the top 8 of an FC Pro World Championship. That's an achievement you can take with you forever in your career. That is such an amazing achievement. Every round that you go through from this stage is so massive. Of course, adding to your prize money as well, your overall prize earnings as a player is absolutely massive. And GuiBarros, you can see the emotion from him, as Tom was touching on before getting off the desk there. An amazing guy as well. And these are the kind of people we want in the scene. Lovely people who play some lovely FC, Gaskin.
We want passion. We want people that are passionate about it and are not scared to show emotion when they're behind or ahead, because then that's what the fans come to see, and that's what we like to see on our screens as well. It's entertainment at the end of the day. But for these players, it is also and mainly about the competition ahead and trying to get as far as possible for prize money, for pride, and maybe for a trophy. But this is the kind of football we saw from him yesterday.
This is when you know you're playing your best FC. You get on the edge of the box and you don't feel like you've got to rush it at all for a single second there from GuiBarros. The L1 stop that he did with Ronaldinho on the edge there, some people look at home and think, why is he stopping still like that? Just looks so simple. It opens up the pass straight away. When you're defending that, I tell you, it's one of the hardest things, and it's something that Tex, of course, Donovan Hunt, he has been doing for so many years. That L1 dead stop, it's more effective than a skill move sometimes, Gaskin. As we see here, Fakhr with a chance though. The shot cancel is absolutely lovely, but she will be offside. Salma
is showing some warning signs though, Fakhr. He is at least showing to GuiBarros that he is going to be in this game. He is going to put chances into the box, and he is certainly going to be a threat when he is in and around those kind of areas. So GuiBarros needs to make sure he stays on top of things here. You don't want to allow Fakhr to get back into this game. But certainly, I've enjoyed watching GuiBarros. I love the way he plays FC, and that ball might just be perfect, just offside.
Gaskin, I tell you what, that is ridiculously skillful. When you're right along the line there and you pull that player forward, you've got more chance of being offside, of course, because you're playing with so little time. That they're the kind of goals that we want to be seeing from GuiBarros. That's the skill I've been talking about. I've been speaking about the player lock a lot here at the FC Pro World Championship. These players, they're so good at using it. And as we see going down the line now, trying the L1, R1, double square cross, that's something else that the top players use. And we've got top players here. They're top 32, in fact. Well, we're not left with 32 anymore, as we see a crazy tackle in from GuiBarros there. Not far away from red card territory, Gaskin.
Yeah, that would certainly be a dangerous situation to find yourself in at 2-0 up, and it is just going to be the yellow for Saliba. Rio Ferdinand limping off, but I'm sure he'll be all right. But Fakhr, 2-0 down, and as you said, we started with 32, but now we are down with 16. I know that even top 16 is an achievement at the FC Pro World Championship, but I completely agree with you. The further you get, the more chances your name will be cemented in FC history as well, being remembered as top 8 or top 4, maybe even get into the final. Who knows? You could be the FC Pro World Championship winner. And tell you what, if you try more of those, if you catch it at the right time, you might just be able to sneak one in.
As a player, I can say, in the middle of the goal, when you're faced in the middle of the goal like that, it's the hardest to move the keeper for, because you expect the Trivela at the least. Of course, when you're at the sort of diagonal angles on the wing, on the edge of the box, you know a Trivela's coming. But I think GuiBarros, his keeper movement has been absolutely exemplary, is the word I'm going to have to use in this situation so far. Attacking really, really well, and not going forward too quickly, Gaskin. And like I said, that's when you're playing your best FC. You know these players, when they're just taking their time, chilling on the edge of the box a little bit. That's what we like to see the most.
I will say, I was worried this might have been a one-sided game. I don't feel like it is that way. 2-0 just before halftime here. Even though it looked like maybe GuiBarros was going to run away with this one with the early goal, he's only been able to find the second, and Fakhr actually has been defending pretty successfully since that moment. As I say, that does give the ball away. Maybe a chance to strike. Great save, though, from Buffon.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, Gaskin, it does feel like this game has got chances coming both ways. Of course, we saw in the Levy de Weird game, 3-0 up, and Rampazzo pulled it back to 3-all. So we know comebacks can happen in these long games of FC. Of course, guys, remember at home, these games are not 12 minutes total, 6-minute halves that you're used to playing at home in Champs or Rivals. These are 18-minute games in total, as we see some lovely work from GuiBarros trying the skill moves in the box, as he mentioned he would, but some good defending from Fakhr.
Yeah, Fakhr has been wise to it every single time he's tried to go for the skill moves in the box. And he's defending a little bit more comfortably than he was in the opening stages of this game. A goal before halftime would be massive for his chances, for his confidence and his belief in himself. As Bobby Charlton just waiting to try and find that pass, but intercepted by Cantona. And now here's the counter-attack launched, sent all the way up to Harry Kane. Not going to shoot from here, probably needs a little bit of assistance. He's going to see it out to Ronaldinho. Bobby Charlton and Harry Kane both waiting on the edge. GuiBarros being patient here. Knows that he could maybe hold on to the ball for this last attack of the half. Doesn't need to rush it. Has the lead here.
And if Tom Lees was on the casting desk right now, he would be absolutely buzzing here, Gaskin, because it's the curse of the commentator again. I was going to say GuiBarros waiting really well for the last attack, which is so important, especially within these knockout rounds where you know it's all single elimination at this point. You have got no chances to fall back on. GuiBarros will now have the last attack unless he somehow messes this up.
Notice he paused for a second there. He waited to see how much extra time, how much added on time there was going to be before he took that free kick, because now he can launch the last attack of the half. It's Harry Kane. It's 3-0, and GuiBarros is absolutely cruising in the round of 16.
I tell you, as a player, sometimes you lose a little bit of focus when there's a quick little free kick. Throw-ins, I know it used to happen all the time playing pro. You lose a little bit of lapse of concentration. GuiBarros just recycles. Fakhr probably thinks it's 45 on the clock. There's 15 seconds left of the half. There's not enough time. Surely not. He goes forward really well and he tries the offside trap, Gaskin. It's just not enough. And that is the risk versus reward of an offside trap. You get it right, it's half-time, 2-0, you go in. You get it wrong like that, it's a clean through chance. You give yourself no opportunity to go back and win the ball, and that's 3-0 at half-time. And as we tipped GuiBarros might before this game, Gaskin just had control really mostly over it.
And he is locked in. Again, I just want to mention it. The free kick was about to be taken. We hadn't seen how much added on time there was going to be. And I could see from his player count, he was staring at that clock. He wanted to know, is it +1, is it +2? Because that makes a difference about how you plan your attack here. If it's +2, you maybe hold on to it for the extra few moments so that you do guarantee that last attack. But as soon as he saw +1, he said, all right, that gives me permission just to launch something here, take a risk. He took the risk of the through ball, and he was rewarded, finds himself 3-0 up, and now this is going to be such a difficult second half for Fakhr here.
I touch on many times, Gaskin, mentality and everything like that. Scoring or conceding a goal just before half-time, it crushes you massively. You've already got in your head, right, I'm going into half-time 2-0 down. That's what he's thinking in his head. Now to have the sucker blow of being 3-0 down, GuiBarros attacking the way he is, and you can see there's a look of despair on his face here. You can see the emotion. And of course, that doesn't necessarily mean he's down and out at all, but it is how you let these emotions get to you. Are you someone who can be a little bit animated? You know, a player like Anders, for example, he's extremely animated, but then when he does lock back into the game, you know that that previous bit of animation from him isn't affecting his gameplay. However, I'm someone who played, if you saw me getting a bit angry, that would translate over into my gameplay.
I feel like I've become a bit of a body language expert after doing this for all these years, because you're completely right. Some players, they definitely show when they're feeling a little bit dejected, and you see it in their gameplay. Very few actually can go against their emotions. I think Anders is definitely one of the ones that you pointed out. But you can see the body language difference on both sides of the stage. I mean, if you looked at both of these players, you would probably be saying GuiBarros is going to go on to win this one comfortably, because Fakhr looks down, he looks like he's almost given up already. He just needs that one goal to lift him back up and give him that belief. If the fourth goal goes to GuiBarros, I think this one might be done.
Absolutely, and we mentioned with the 9-minute halves, there is loads of time for Fakhr to pull this game back. I mentioned before, Levy de Weird, 3-0 up. It came back to 3-3 in an absolute heartbeat, so things can happen, and this is the perfect start to the half for Fakhr, but it just cannot find the low driven there. Again, if that's GuiBarros' keeper movement, I've got to tip my hat to him, because he's been outstanding with that. I tell you what, Gaskin, that was almost a real error.
Does play it very long from the corner. but has won the ball back. Maybe can turn here to get a shot away. Back to Cantona, plays one more. Into Hansen. Oh, it's good defending again from GuiBarros. Gets the player in the way. Takes the corner quickly this time. Can he do it with a header? No, he can't. Keeper collects it, and GuiBarros holds on to his 3-0 lead.
When you have a start to the half as good as Fakhr has there, you have got to make the most of your chances. The near post completely opened up. I cannot believe he hasn't shot there. But again, GuiBarros' keeper movement has been nothing short of flawless. It's an aspect, if you add it to your game well, you can do wonders with it and save yourself many a goal, as we see Fakhr in the box here, but it's some good defending from GuiBarros once again.
It does go out for a goal kick, and if I'm GuiBarros, I probably want to slow this one down, to be honest. He tried to go for a quick attack, was almost punished on the counter, but maybe that's just not his game. Is a little mistake there. Perhaps that was just some buttons being pressed the wrong way, but still has been rewarded, but it's going to be offside, so Fakhr wins the ball back.
GuiBarros 3-0 up, 52 minutes in here, and you think to yourself, the longer you don't score a goal, the longer you see 0 next to your name, some would call it a donut next to your name, Gaskin. It just gets mentally more difficult to deal with, but I can't doubt Fakhr. He started this half absolutely excellently, if that is even a word.
It is.
It is.
It
Yes.
is. Don't you worry, Sunshine. Your vocabulary
Sunshine,
is on point.
That's the nicest, that's a lovely thing you've said there, Gaskin. Thank you.
I think he needs one goal here, and it would just change the dynamic of this game completely. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but he just needs that belief. As now Fakhr, with Bobby Charlton in midfield, has queued up a pause here. That's worth noting. The ball doesn't go through either. And if I see a pause, and I'm GuiBarros, I'm saying, all right, I probably want to keep the ball here. And I don't want to allow him to make those changes that can maybe just provide a little bit of extra oomph to his team.
Definitely, we know subs are so important. We've seen so many times where a player's paused it, had a little chat with their coach, potentially changed formation, put on a little bit of a press in terms of a higher depth. As we see GuiBarros here, 4-0 to the good. And as Gaskin mentioned before, that could be all she wrote in this one. GuiBarros playing with extreme confidence here in the round of 16, and just a lovely finesse with that all-important Harry Kane item.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one now for Fakhr. It was already an uphill battle, but now suddenly that hill becomes a mountain, and it might just be one of the biggest mountains in the world, because GuiBarros does not look like he is slowing down whatsoever in this showdown. Finds himself 4-0 up now. And remember, he could have been playing against Anders Vergang, but instead is going to be going up against Fakhr here, who took down the reigning world champion.
And we've just had word from the other game going on at the moment. Danny Pitbull, 1-0 up against Tex. 1-0 up, which is a very interesting scoreline this far into the match. Of course, we don't know exactly how many minutes into that game. We do know how many minutes into that game. Danny Pitbull, 1-0 up against Tex. 1-0!
1-0. 73 minutes gone. 17 minutes to survive against one of the most historic players in this game. Can Tex maybe dig deep and find something from his past here to find his way into the top 8? As you can see,
this is a bizarre scoreline, Gaskin.
It's
really
not the scoreline I would expect, that's for sure, but 2-0 would be crazy if we see it happen. And actually, that over-the-top through ball, oh, so close to finding the second. Danny Pitbull, 15 minutes away from progressing to top 8.
I mean, with Tex's attacking capabilities, to keep Tex out for 76 minutes is outrageous stuff here at the FC Pro World Championship. Of course, the winner of this game will book their place into the quarter-final, which will be played from tomorrow. Tex needs a goal, and he needs it now as we jump back over to our featured match.
4-0 down, back against the wall. What do you have left in the tank here if you're Fakhr? Do you have anything? You need to just put one of these away. He has had chances, but GuiBarros maybe could run away with this one. Now Ronaldinho does play it back to Lionel Messi.
Oh.
Nice little fake shot.
Oh, stop it.
Ronaldinho saved, but it does look beautiful when he's going forward.
Oh, those skill moves with Ronaldinho, obviously, he mentioned in the little clip we saw of GuiBarros before this match. He loves using Ronaldinho. He loves the skill moves. Those step overs inside, guys, do not underrate those kind of step overs. We see the straight step over used from a lot of these pros, but when you go to the side there, Gaskin, it's ridiculously hard to defend because you're always anticipating that forward step over. As soon as they go to the side with it, opens up the angle and could have been a 5-star performance. But you know what? I'm still calling this a 5-star performance from GuiBarros.
And look at the game management we're seeing from him as well. He was patient in his play. Every single time he received the ball to his player, he was just taking that extra second, waiting for Fakhr to bring those men out, and then he was playing the ball back. He's happy to recycle. He's happy to keep the ball here because he knows he has the lead. He doesn't need to give too many chances to Fakhr, and he wants to already start eating away at that clock. But Ferdinand, it's a shift onto the left foot. Times it yellow as well, but Fakhr, I think he realizes that was another chance that's gone missing.
That's a real good chance there. It's really surprising that he went for the ball roll there. I think in that kind of situation, you want to just attack that space, sprint forward, and then give yourself a shot opportunity. And this would be an absolute sucker blow. Ronaldinho, once again, the shot cancels are beautiful from GuiBarros, and it just seems like everything is sort of going his way.
I was so happy when shot cancels came into the game because I was always a fake shot merchant. But
yeah.
They were never really that good. But shot cancels, boy, can they send your opponent just cross-eyed when they try and defend you.
Gaskin, you ever been to Shot Cancel Avenue?
I have not, but I feel like I should.
It's a destination that's quite satisfying.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of the players here at the FC Pro World Championship loving the shot cancel. I think when we see a goal go in like that, it fills me with joy. Then I know they've attended the location. Another classic Shuri joke. Anyway,
will
moving
GuiBarros take us to Shot Cancel Avenue? I mean, at the moment, he can go wherever he wants. He's 4-0 up in the round of 16. It looks like he's going to be cruising to the quarterfinals, and he might just be putting cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake at this point. As Bobby Charlton plays one to Ronaldinho. He's twisting, he's turning, and you can see he's trying to put on a little bit of a show for us here. He's toying with Fakhr at this point.
I mean, there's nothing more satisfying than being in your opponent's final third, being this many goals up. Can Fakhr get one back and somehow start the comeback? Oh, look, there's sometimes you just know it's not your day. And it's a terrible day for it to not be your day here in the knockout stages. But GuiBarros he's just ended up doing everything right. I was going to say a little bit of luck, but he's more than earned this win, more than earned it. He's been fantastic.
Tough pill to swallow for Fakhr for sure, as another chance over the top is easily collected by GuiBarros, and I believe he's going to start to go on a little bit of a victory lap at this point. 4-0 up, 15 minutes left, and this was something Tom said yesterday. I asked him, what do you do when you're in these moments, when you know the game is won? And he said, I just try and enjoy myself. I just want to play the game that's in front of me. It's a video game at the end of the day, and that's when you start to do a few different things, a few more skill moves come out.
There's not enough times as a pro where you get to enjoy in the middle of a game. Of course, you get to enjoy all the winning moments after a game, which are absolutely fantastic, and of course, the most important part. But enjoy winning during the game. It's one of the best feelings ever. I know many times where I've been coaching Tom, mid-game, he'll be 8-0 up because he's just absolutely ridiculous. And he'll just sort of take his headset off and turn and have a little laugh with me and do a couple skill moves. As you mentioned, GuiBarros getting to that territory here, unless Fakhr can pull off one of the best comebacks we've seen in FC Pro history. But every single chance he gets, it's just not falling to him.
There's definitely been chances here for Fakhr. Do not get me wrong. It may be 4-0. It looks very one-sided, but there is a world where he could have scored 3 or 4 goals. Yeah, I was going to say 2 or 3, but honestly, had things gone a little bit his way, maybe 4 could have gone in his favor. But instead, he finds himself 4-0 down, and the dejection he may have been feeling at halftime, sadly, is going to be amplified here in these final 10 minutes, as he's probably starting to get that realization of being eliminated from the competition. Realization
station, I call this one. I mean, there's just absolutely 0% chance, I'm going to say, at this point of a comeback. That would be the best comeback I have simply ever seen within that sort of time. And we're going to see GuiBarros here just closing this game out in fantastic fashion. I have to say, in Fakhir's situation, this is one of the most frustrating things to play against, when they're just keeping it in the final third and just relaxing. And this could be the end of the 5-star performance there. Van der Ven recovers. I will say, I'd be worried if I was going up against GuiBarros in the next round with the way he's been playing. Maybe Fakhr, though, can get some sort of consolation goal here, and he will see the goalkeeper movement, and he will put one in now, but I think it just might be a little bit too late here. It's the start of the comeback. We've been waiting a while for it. It's the 85th minute now. Fakhr, I tip my hat to you, my friend. He still played a fantastic game. Of course, knocked Anders out of the competition. We cannot forget that. It's probably, I was going to say, the biggest shock result of the tournament so far. I think it's undoubtedly gonna just be the biggest shock regardless. Unless we have a player who we didn't expect at all to go and win the whole tournament. I think one of the favorites is quite likely does go on to win it. He's had the biggest shock result of the whole tournament, and he's done fantastically well. It does just feel, though, Gaskin, too little, too late here.
Regardless of what happens, and you know, if he does get a comeback,
hold
on a second.
Oh my! Tex! He's not onside. He's not onside. He's onside. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I simply do not believe it.
That was a replay then of Danny Pitbull finding an equalizer in the last moment, the last kick of the game perhaps, against Tex, and it looks like the game on the mainstream is going to be going to extra time. Tex mere minutes, moments, seconds away from going through to the round of 8, but now is going to have to battle his way through extra time, it looks like, as we check back on the replay of Fakhir's first goal here. But oh my goodness, it looks like we've got a very dramatic game over there.
I'm sure we will get over to that game at the end of this one between GuiBarros and Fakhr. Of course, I can't talk, guys, sorry, after seeing that. That has blown me away. To see Tex 1-0 down, then 2-1 up. And that first time through ball there from Danny Pitbull was just unbelievable. We'll keep focusing on this matchup while we've got the rest of it here. GuiBarros looking to close it out and score his 5th of the game. Are we going to see a bit more magic from him? Surely a penalty.
Ref.
I think the ref said, you know what, he's had a couple of unlucky chances. We're not giving you that one.
And maybe a second for Fakhr. I still think it's a little bit too late, but it does maybe raise the eyebrows of GuiBarros if he scores a second one here. GuiBarros defending with everything that he can. All the players trying to cut off those angles. And he is just slowing this one down. He forces Fakhr back. And that window of the unbelievable, miraculous comeback, I think, has passed at this point. There's just not enough time in the game. But we have to give Fakhr his moment. He got here by beating the best player in the world, the player that was touted to win this whole event, the reigning champion. And we will take our hat off and we will remember that victory for quite some time. But this result goes to GuiBarros, who wins it 4-1 and is looking like a dominant force in this tournament. And he moves on to the quarterfinals.
Congratulations, GuiBarros. You have just booked your place into the quarterfinals being played tomorrow, of course. An outstanding performance. And, of course, Gaskin there, he continued his form from the group stage. 3 wins out of 3 for GuiBarros now and got a real chance. He just needs 3 more. 3 more, he can be crowned the champion of the world, which is just absolutely unbelievable. Shout out to Fakhr once again, knocking Anders out. I'm going to keep mentioning it because it's the biggest shock we have had. Maybe just taking a bit of time